This time, we start with the term of the day because it is essential in understanding the rest of the video. Equality before the law is the principle that each independent being must be treated equally by the law and that all are subject to the same laws of justice. Therefore, the law must guarantee that no individual nor group of individuals should be privileged or discriminated against by the government. Equality before the law is one of the basic principles of liberalism. This principle arises from various important and complex questions concerning equality, fairness, justice. Thus, the principle of equality before the law is incompatible and ceases to exist with legal systems such as slavery, servitude, colonialism, or monarchy. I'm Alec, and welcome to Wiser Tomorrow. Article 7 of the acclaimed Universal Declaration of Human Rights states, "All are equal before the law and are entitled without any discrimination to equal protection of the law. Thus, everyone must be treated equally under the law regardless of race, gender, national origin, color, ethnicity, religion, disability, or other characteristics, without privilege, discrimination, or bias." This is all great. It sounds very fair and clear-cut. But I'll argue that there are leaks, some aspects that these lines do not cover, and thus not assuring the realization of their purpose. Now, believe it or not, but I'm not the first one to point out the obvious. I just want to push the discussion forward so that hopefully someday we'll be closer to all being equal under the law. So here's an obvious leak. Money. Money can buy you freedom. Well, not quite, but it can augment your probabilities to have more of it by a significant margin. For example, paying a lawyer. But all lawyers are not created equal. No. Some have more experience than others. Some have better records. Some are specialized at accomplishing specific goals, etc. Yes, that money spent must have been hard-earned, and the rich sweated a lot to get it. Give yourself all the merit you want because it doesn't matter. Not in this case. Not in front of the law. If a poor man and a rich man separately committed a fraud that are a carbon copy of each other, the poor man shouldn't have higher probabilities of getting harsher consequences. They both did the same thing. Commit fraud. Is it a good message to send if we say officially or not, say that you can buy your way out of punishments? Look at settlements. Rich people have the possibility of settling with the help of big sums of money to get lesser to no consequences. Poor people can't do that. Is this what we call justice? In an interview with Martin Ricken of ResearchGate.net, Mark Maurer, executive director of the Sentencing Project and one of the leading experts on sentencing policy, race, and the criminal justice system, said, "In general, wealthy people are not exploiting the system, but rather are able to take advantage of the rights afforded to everyone under our system of government to a degree that is not available to poor people. This plays out in the ability to post bail, to hire capable defense counsel, to present a plan for alternative sentencing, and other areas." This is perfectly said. It's very honest. The laws are written in a way that advantages the wealthiest section of the population. Now, I don't want to get into whose fault it is and start diving deeper in all the sociology breakdown. That is not necessary here. It's not the goal, and it will most likely get us off course by battling ideologies. All we need to realize and observe is that the laws are giving advantages to certain people over others, And if we want to respect the Universal Declaration of Human Rights that states all are equal before the law and are entitled without any discrimination to equal protection of the law, we need to modify, adjust, or replace the current laws. Change is needed. It's extremely easy to say all of this. It's easy to critique. Finding the perfect solutions could be difficult. I don't want to say that I have them all, but we do need to realize that this specific leak must be fixed. And better continue the conversation now than sitting through more and more injustice. I'm going to go anecdotal now. If I had to identify my biggest pet peeve, I would say that it's unfairness before governmental justice. I legit did not continue watching Game of Thrones because someone gets for saying the truth, which is an incoming danger that the ruler is not willing to accept. And I had nightmares after watching the series about Les Années de Terreur, the Terror Years, which is the few years that followed the French Revolution when so many people got sent to the guillotine unreasonably. Look it up to see how bad it was. My favorite book/movie is To Kill a Mockingbird, because it highlights how absolutely devastating it is to have unfair justice. Individuals' entire existence are at stake. Moving on, let's examine speeding tickets. Why do we have them? Well, it's not because you need to buy the right to drive your car fast. No, it's not. No, we don't want anyone to be speeding on our roads. It's dangerous. We have a system of fines set up so we can dissuade people from breaking the law. In Canada, it's the provinces that determine how they punish speeding drivers. The amount to be paid goes up the more you go over the limit. The Globe and Mail reported in Alberta, the height between each speed varies. For instance, 10 kilometers an hour over is $105. Like in most other provinces, the fine is doubled in school zones and construction sites. Now yes, you have a limited amount of times you can get caught speeding before your license is suspended, but you do have some wiggle room. So knowing that, John Doe is making $52.2 an hour. This translates into $101,790 a year. It puts you in the top 10% income earners in Canada. A speeding ticket represents generally just above 3 hours of work time after taxes for John. Well, quick clumsy math would easily show how obvious it is that speeding in terms of economic purposes is beneficial if you make this type of salary. John values his free time at the same amount as his salary. Let's say his job is 20 kilometers away from where he lives. Driving there at 50 kilometers an hour, the limit, takes him 24 minutes of driving time. Doing it at 60 kilometers an hour gets him there in 20 minutes of driving time, thus saving him 4 minutes every time he commutes. 8 minutes per day. Reminder that we are just calculating driving back and forth from the workplace. 40 minutes of speeding per day at 60 kilometers an hour gives him $6.96 as it frees up those 8 minutes. The amount to be paid if John gets caught speeding 10 kilometers an hour over the limit is $105 divided by $6.96 equals 15.09 days of speeding for 40 minutes at 10 kilometers an hour over the limit. 15.09 days times 40 minutes equals 603.6 minutes, which is equal to 10 hours. If you think John can drive for more than 10 hours for every one ticket he would get, then it is worth speeding on economic benefits until he is on the edge of suspension of his license. I strongly believe that unless it's a heavily regulated area, you would get less than one ticket per 10 hours of driving at 10 kilometers an hour over the limit. even if you add the insurance costs that might go up. ThinkInsure.ca states and asks and answers, does a speeding ticket raise insurance? Not necessarily. Some insurance companies in Ontario will not increase your rates for one speeding ticket, usually if it is a minor infraction, where areas other companies will increase your insurance rates. How much a speeding ticket will increase your car insurance rates will vary based on your insurance company's rules. For a minor speeding ticket, 10 kilometers an hour that we're talking about would be considered minor. You may only see a slight increase or no increase at all. If you receive a major speeding ticket or have multiple speeding tickets, you can expect your insurance rates to increase. Of course, I will say that it is not worth it because it puts you and everyone that gets close to you at risk. I value my life and my health more than the marginal economic gains of driving slightly faster on the roads. But the law will only punish you financially. But financially, for a good percentage of the population, it does not dissuade like its purpose wants it to do. Not everyone will care about the financial aspect, or they might think that they are invincible, so they'll speed regardless. That is a problem. Another anecdote, the times I went to Boston, if you're not speeding, you're the alien. In some places, speeding has become the culture, and the police can't do much about it. So, I know, to some of you, it might just be the way things are. Speeding is natural. Nonetheless, this is all still relevant because you will have an unwritten speeding limit. The cops surely have their internal directive of the unwritten speeding limit, which you might be able to figure out for yourself. Anyways, this is just an incomplete overview of the problems related to the power of money in the justice system. There is much more to be said. For example, there is the bail problem, vicious circles of debt caused by fines, getting a job after conviction, etc. So like the video and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Open dialogue and free thinking doesn't get a lot of love these days. Support goes a long way. I just want to start a conversation and hopefully get you to make your own idea around this debate. Make your own research, put some order in your thoughts, and share them. Sleep on it, you'll be wiser tomorrow.